There is something many older men quietly wonder about, but almost never say out loud. As the years pass, they start asking themselves questions they would never admit publicly. Am I still attractive? Do women still notice me? Have I become invisible without realizing it? And honestly, those thoughts affect more men than people think. Modern society constantly pushes the idea that attraction belongs only to youth, fast energy, and physical perfection. So many mature men slowly begin underestimating the kind of presence they actually carry. But here is the truth most people never talk about. Attraction changes with age. It does not disappear. In many cases, a man becomes more attractive emotionally, psychologically, and socially as he gets older, because experience changes the way he carries himself, communicates, and moves through the world. Good to have you back. I'm Isabella, and before we continue, help Isabella reach 100,000 subscribers because every single subscriber truly matters to this community. If you enjoy deep conversations about female psychology, attraction, relationships, and emotional behavior, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss the next video. Now let's continue because what I'm about to explain today may completely change the way you see yourself as a man. One thing many men fail to understand is that women often experience attraction very differently as they mature emotionally. When women are younger, attraction may focus heavily on excitement, appearance, and emotional intensity. But as emotional maturity grows, many women begin paying much closer attention to energy, emotional safety, calm confidence, emotional intelligence, presence, stability, and the way a man makes them feel emotionally around him. That changes everything. Today, we're going to break down 5 powerful signs that women still find you deeply attractive as an older man, even if you no longer fully recognize it yourself. And honestly, some of these signs are probably already happening around you quietly, without you realizing what they actually mean psychologically. The first sign is that women feel naturally comfortable around you very quickly. And honestly, this is one of the strongest forms of attraction, because emotional comfort usually appears before obvious flirting ever does. Many men think attraction always looks dramatic or obvious, but psychologically, women often show attraction first through emotional openness, relaxed body language, and a desire to stay emotionally close to your presence longer than necessary. You may notice younger women starting conversations with you easily, even when they do not need to. A cashier suddenly becomes more talkative. A coworker laughs more around you. A woman maintains conversations longer than expected, or asks for your opinion about random things. At first, these moments may seem small or meaningless, but emotionally, they often reveal something deeper happening underneath the interaction. This happens because calm masculine energy feels emotionally safe to many women. As men grow older emotionally, they often stop trying so hard to impress everyone constantly. Their communication becomes calmer, their energy becomes steadier, and their emotional reactions become more controlled. Women notice this immediately because emotional steadiness feels very different from emotional chaos. And honestly, emotional safety is deeply attractive psychologically. A woman who feels relaxed around a man naturally becomes more emotionally open around him. She laughs easier, speaks more freely, maintains stronger eye contact, and subconsciously stays engaged longer because her nervous system feels calm instead of pressured. That emotional comfort slowly creates attraction, without either person needing to force it. Another thing many older men underestimate is listening. Younger men often focus too much on proving themselves, while emotionally mature men usually become better listeners naturally through life experience. Women notice when a man listens with patience, calmness, and genuine attention because it makes them feel emotionally seen instead of emotionally managed. And honestly, this is why many women become surprisingly drawn toward older men emotionally. Not because of age itself, but because emotional maturity often creates a calmer emotional atmosphere around them. That emotional atmosphere matters far more than many men realize. Because attraction is not always created by loud confidence or physical perfection. Sometimes attraction grows quietly through emotional comfort, emotional steadiness, and the feeling that a woman can genuinely relax around your presence without needing to emotionally protect herself constantly. The second sign is that people consistently compliment the way you present yourself, even in small ways you may not think much about personally. A woman notices your voice, your haircut, the way you dress, your beard, your posture, your watch, your scent, or simply the way you carry yourself calmly in public. And honestly, many older men underestimate how attractive thoughtful presentation becomes as a man ages, because attraction at maturity is often connected more to presence and self-respect than flashy appearance alone. This is where psychology becomes important. Women naturally pay attention to signs of self-care because self-care reflects emotional discipline, emotional stability, and personal confidence. A man who takes care of himself physically usually communicates something much deeper psychologically. He looks like a man who values his life, his standards, his environment, and the energy he brings into the world. That creates attraction naturally. And honestly, attractive older men rarely look attractive because they are trying desperately to look younger. In fact, many women are more drawn to men who look comfortable in their age instead of emotionally fighting against it constantly. Gray hair, maturity, calm facial expressions, and masculine confidence often become attractive when they are carried with self-respect instead of insecurity. Another thing many men overlook is consistency. Women notice consistency in grooming, hygiene, clothing choices, and personal energy because consistency communicates emotional steadiness. A man who always looks emotionally put together sends a message psychologically that he likely approaches other parts of life with the same grounded mindset too. And honestly, attraction becomes more psychological with age than many people realize. A younger man may attract attention quickly through excitement or appearance, but an emotionally mature man often creates attraction through presence, reliability, calmness, and the feeling that he has fully settled into himself emotionally. That kind of masculine energy feels rare today because so many people will emotionally restless, emotionally chaotic, or constantly searching for validation. This is why simple compliments about your appearance or energy matter more than many older men think. Women rarely compliment men casually without noticing them emotionally first. Even small comments about your style, scent, voice, or appearance often reveal emotional attention already forming underneath the interaction. And emotional attention is usually where attraction quietly begins, long before obvious flirting ever appears openly. The third sign is prolonged eye contact and quiet attention from women, especially in situations where there is no real reason for it to happen repeatedly. And honestly, this is one of the clearest signs of attraction, because women often communicate emotional curiosity through observation long before they express anything verbally. A woman who finds you attractive may not openly flirt immediately, but her attention naturally keeps returning toward you without her fully realizing it herself. You may notice her holding eye contact slightly longer than normal. She looks at you when you are speaking in a group. She notices small things about you that other people completely overlook. Sometimes you even catch her looking at you briefly before she quickly looks away. These moments may seem small individually, but psychologically, they reveal emotional curiosity building underneath the surface. This happens because attraction often begins silently before it becomes verbal. And honestly, emotionally mature men usually create a different kind of attention than younger men. Younger men often attract quick excitement, but older men who carry calm confidence attract emotional curiosity. Women start wondering about you internally. They observe your behavior, your calmness, your reactions, your emotional control, and the way you interact with people around you. That observation matters psychologically because women often study emotional safety before emotional closeness. A man who looks emotionally stable, emotionally confident, and emotionally grounded naturally feels more trustworthy and emotionally attractive. That is why women sometimes become drawn toward mature men quietly, without even fully understanding why themselves. Another thing many older men misunderstand is silence. They think attraction only exists when someone is openly flirting, but female attraction is often much more subtle emotionally. Sometimes attraction appears through repeated attention instead of dramatic behavior. A woman may simply position herself closer to you repeatedly, maintain eye contact longer, smile differently around you, or become more emotionally engaged whenever you enter the conversation. And honestly, this type of attraction is often deeper psychologically because it is connected to emotional curiosity instead of only physical reaction. Women become emotionally drawn toward men who feel emotionally centered in themselves. A man who is comfortable with his presence, comfortable with silence, and comfortable with who he is emotionally creates a calm energy many women naturally notice immediately. That calm masculine energy becomes very attractive because it feels emotionally rare in a world filled with emotional noise, insecurity, and constant performance. The fourth sign is that women genuinely listen to you and remember small details about you later. And honestly, this is one of the strongest signs of emotional attraction because attention is emotional investment psychologically. People naturally remember details about the individuals they feel emotionally drawn toward. That is why a woman remembering something small you mentioned weeks ago often means much more than men realize. Maybe she remembers your favorite drink, a story you casually shared, a hobby you mentioned once, or even a small opinion you expressed during a conversation. On the surface, these moments seem simple, but emotionally, they reveal that your words stayed in her mind after the interaction ended. That matters because attraction is not always loud. Many times, attraction grows quietly through emotional attention and emotional curiosity over time. And honestly, emotionally mature men often create this type of attraction naturally because they communicate differently. They're usually calmer, more intentional, and less emotionally performative. Women often feel more emotionally relaxed during conversations with older men because the interaction feels genuine instead of forced. This creates stronger emotional memory psychologically. A woman who feels emotionally comfortable around you naturally becomes more mentally present during conversations. She pays closer attention to details because emotionally, she values the interaction itself. And once emotional value enters communication, attraction often begins deepening underneath the surface naturally. Another important thing many older men underestimate is emotional intelligence. Women notice when a man speaks thoughtfully, listens carefully, and responds with emotional awareness instead of reacting impulsively. That emotional maturity becomes increasingly attractive as women grow older themselves because emotional peace starts mattering more than emotional drama. And honestly, many women become tired of emotionally chaotic relationships over time. That is why emotionally grounded masculine energy often feels refreshing psychologically. A calm, emotionally steady man creates a sense of emotional safety that many women quietly crave. This is also why women who feel emotionally drawn toward you often find reasons to continue conversations longer than necessary. They ask follow-up questions, remember details, and revisit topics because emotionally, they enjoy the feeling of your presence itself. And once a woman enjoys your emotional presence consistently, attraction usually starts growing much deeper than surface appearance alone ever could. The fifth sign is that women naturally find reasons to stay around you longer than necessary. And honestly, this is one of the clearest signs of attraction because people always make time and space for the individuals they feel emotionally drawn toward. A woman who enjoys your presence usually creates small opportunities to remain emotionally connected to your energy without making it feel obvious directly. You may notice conversations stretching longer than expected, even after the original topic already ended. She asks unnecessary follow-up questions, lingers nearby after interactions, or finds casual reasons to approach you again later. Sometimes she asks for help with things she could easily handle herself. Other times, she simply seems emotionally comfortable staying around your presence longer than logic really requires. That behavior matters psychologically because attraction often reveals itself through proximity before words ever do. Human beings naturally move closer emotionally and physically toward people who make them feel emotionally good, emotionally calm, and emotionally safe. And honestly, this is where many older men completely underestimate themselves. They assume attraction only belongs to loud charisma, youth, or extreme physical appearance. But women often become deeply attracted to emotional steadiness instead. A man who feels emotionally grounded creates a sense of peace many women quietly crave after years of emotionally exhausting relationships and emotionally unstable experiences. Another important thing many mature men overlook is emotional confidence. Women notice when a man is comfortable with himself emotionally. He is not desperately seeking validation, not emotionally chasing attention, and not constantly trying to prove his value to everybody around him. That calm self-acceptance changes the emotional atmosphere around him completely. And honestly, calm masculine confidence becomes more attractive with age because it feels emotionally rare. This is why attraction toward older men often grows quietly and emotionally instead of dramatically. Women become emotionally attached to the feeling of your presence itself. They enjoy your energy, your calmness, your emotional steadiness, and the way conversations feel around you. That emotional comfort slowly creates emotional attachment underneath the surface. If you made it all the way to the end, comment, "I watched till the end," below so I know who stayed for the full conversation. And before you leave, help Isabella reach 100,000 subscribers because every single subscriber truly matters to this community. Make sure you like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications because I'll be posting more videos every week on female psychology, attraction, relationships, emotional behavior, and the hidden emotional patterns most people notice too late.